Welcome back. Today we're going to look at installing an SEL and a 200 amp panel. So we're going to do a bit of a Blue Peter theme today, so I'll quickly talk you through these and then we'll go and have a look at some that have been installed already. So this is an SEL. Now it does vary in size, so it depends what size cable you're going to put in here. And this basically comes from the landlord supply. So you have your permanent supply and then you have your temporary supply. And we like to put this in because it keeps all of the temporary insulation separate as much as we can from the permanents. And all this does is provide us with overcurrent protection and short circuit protection. So if I'll show you quickly, what you can see, it has an MCCB there and it's got the RCD there as well. So what we'll do when we go upstairs, I'll open up one that we've installed already and I'll show you the internal parts of it. But basically what happens with this, the main supply, let's say if we've got 120mm cables parallel coming in, we'll go into this unit and that'll be our starting point. From here, it will go down to something like, let's say, a 600 amp MDU or panel. And from that 600 amp, it will then get divided. So we may have 3 of these. So from the 600, it may go into 3 separate ones of these, which are sitting on various floors or in different locations. And then from there, these will supply either transformers or commando sockets, water pumps. It can be various things. So this is very similar to what we just looked at, the SEL there. So again, you have the MCCB there, and then you have an RCD, and this is basically your 3-phase board. So in here, you'd put in 32 amp C-type for a 110 volt transformer, or like I said before, commando socket or anything along those lines. So it's quite simple in its setup, but what we'll do now, we'll go upstairs and we'll have a look at the internal of an SEL and the internal of a 200 amp panel as well.
Right guys, so this is what an SEL looks like, so separate earth leakage device. So they've been a bit naughty here because this was supplying 600 amps. So you can see these were the existing 120mm that were coming in from the landlord switch. Now these were going in here into the MCCB, and if I zoom in, you can see 250 to 600. Now what's happened is the landlord side have decided they're not going to give us as much power, so it's gone from 600 down to I think 160, but unfortunately they've been a bit naughty because they haven't dropped these legs out. So we put these in originally and they terminated their side. What they've done is basically come in, drop these out of there and put these in, which are 70mm. So that's going in, and then it obviously goes up the top, and then as you can see, this is a load side, so neutral, L1, L2, L3. And then up the top here, you've got 2 fused carriers behind there, and this is the variable RCD. So you can set the trip current amps where you want it to, and if you want the trip to be delayed for whatever reason. So ours is set at 1 at full, and that's basically it. That's what an SEL is. This is the current transformer, as you can see. So it all goes through there. Again, live, neutral, L1, L2, L3, and then it goes across into this current transformer, and that reads everything here. And that's basically it. So it's quite simple. And then from here, we'll go down and we'll have a look at a bigger panel, which will be, let's say, the 600, and then from there we'll split on, but we'll work our way down. So this is known as a SIDU, so a site intake distribution unit. So where we've just looked at that SEL, that'll come down and feed this main switch, which you're looking at 630 this can take. So this is the main switch, and from here we can distribute it out to the MDU that I showed earlier on in the video. So RCD as it was upstairs, and if I show you around this, what you'll find over here a setup of MCCBs with their own RCDs as well. So you can see here how the power's been split. So 100 amp is going to an MDU, another 100 amp to another MDU, so that's 100, 200. You got another 200 there and another 200 there. So, and that's how they split up, and that will go to a smaller DB somewhere else. And it also has something called a pan assembly, and that's usually linked out to here. So this is basically the DB side of it. So you can see you can put 3-phase in there or the single phase, and that's as simple as it is. So let's go and have a quick look at something like a 200 amp panel now. Right, so let's have a look at this. So now we're going from the SIDU to an MDU, which is 200 amps. Now we'll use this one because this is the closest one to us. So what happens is the 200 supply will come into here. This is the main switch. And then what we can do, we can actually split it again to a smaller version of this MDU. So if you look up here, that's another MCCB, but it can give 100 amps to elsewhere. So basically a smaller version of this. And then the other 100 amps gets supplied over here to this pan assembly. So this will feed things like transformers, water pumps, commando sockets, anything along those lines. And that's basically it. So we've started from the top, started with the 600, worked our way down and split it and put these in various locations.
Okay guys, thank you for watching, and if you do have any questions, please do leave them in the comments and we'll get back to you as soon as we can, and I'll see you on the next one.